Hey, Chicago E3 2018. Kahlief here. We're hanging out at the Microsoft Showcase. Again, showing you some dope stuff from all over the floor. We're here with Mark, who's here with Ori, Will of the Wisps. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. How's everything going today?
Oh, it's going great. Going great. Yeah, so glad you guys could stop by and check out Will of the Wisps.
Well, I mean, after seeing it in the press conference, how could I not come by and come say what's up? Because seeing it on the big stage and on the big screen, I was like, oh my God, this looks so good. This looks amazing. How's everything been coming from the previous game over to the newest one that you're going to be putting out pretty soon?
Yeah, well, we were so pleased with the reception that the original game got.
Yeah.
It was an award-winning game, and more importantly, the fans and players just seem to really love the first game. They love the characters. They really responded to the emotional tale that we tried to tell with the game.
Yeah.
And with the second game, we just knew that there was more to do.
Yeah.
You know, like we wanted to recreate a lot of what was so great about the first game, but then also introduce some new elements and extend the tale of Ori.
Yeah, what I love about the first game is that you kind of take this really beautiful story and kind of expound upon the world, and you're doing the world building while you're kind of going through it. Is some of that kind of happening in the newest game as well?
Absolutely, yeah. That's a key part of what we want to do when we're telling the tale. As Ori sets out in his adventure to find his true destiny, he'll encounter new areas, just like in the first game. They'll be themed differently, both in terms of the music, the graphic presentation, but most importantly, in every new area, you'll find new abilities and skills, which really change the way that you play that area of the game. So just like it's themed visually and from an audio perspective, it's themed from a gameplay perspective as well.
Totally. What was some of the feedback that you got from the first game that kind of changed the way you've thought about the newest one? And it's been interesting to hear just the scuttlebutt around the internet when it first got announced about new engine. It looks super pretty in a way that the first game was gorgeous, but this one looks even better.
Yeah.
What's some of the details about that?
Well, thank you. We really, we wanted to at least make it as beautiful as the first game, if not more beautiful. So from a technical perspective, we're still building the game on Unity.
Wow.
Even though the game is presented in sort of a side-scrolling 2D perspective,
sure.
This time around, many of the assets and the characters in the world are built in true 3D. And so what that allows us to do is a couple of things that really take the quality of the presentation to the next level.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of interesting lighting treatment that just simply wouldn't be possible to do previously. Now really makes the world come alive. And very importantly, from an animation perspective, and from a combat perspective, which we'll hopefully talk about it in a bit, there's a whole new array of combat maneuvers that we're enabling Ori to have. And all of these new maneuvers come with their own custom set of animations. So that they seamlessly blend between one and another, but they feel and act differently according to what you're wielding.
Now I want to know more about the combat since you already started that thread. Let me hear more about that.
Yeah, sure. So in the original game, Ori had a pretty straightforward combat system where you utilize sign. Whenever you got in proximity of another enemy, you could just attack using sign to destroy the enemy. And in this time around, what we wanted to do was to give Ori a wider array of abilities. So you probably saw in the trailer that Ori is now wielding a spirit sword.
That looks so cool.
Yeah, and also he can wield the spirit hammer or spirit bow and arrow. And so all of these things enable Ori to play much differently and to solve puzzles in the game from a different way. So some of them have multiple solutions, and they definitely feel different. So you can customize the way that Ori plays by choosing different abilities and filling the spirit shard slots with those abilities. So sometimes you have to make choices about what your loadout is, if you will, but basically this makes the game more accessible to play and makes it interesting to play again and again.
It sounds like you're giving a little bit of candy to all the new players who will be coming to Ori, which sounds fantastic. That's one of the things I love about that game, was that it was pretty easy to pick up and play, but challenging in the same way. How's the challenge going to feel in the newest game as well? Yeah,
we definitely want to keep the game challenging. Like, part of the intrinsic nature of a Metroidvania game is this idea that, well, you're going along, you come into sort of a challenging area that's quite difficult, you find a new ability, and when you first find that ability, it's kind of hard to use and wield, but as you master it, suddenly that challenge becomes easier to overcome, and now you feel more powerful. And then you go and do it again in another area, and by the time you finish the game, you feel like this uber powerful ninja-like, spirit character, Ori, that can do almost anything. And that is intrinsic, like I said, to the nature of this style of game, the Metroidvania style of game. And we're definitely recreating that and bringing it back.
So everybody's really excited about having new hardware to play with. Xbox One X is super powerful. How is that going to help both the way that folks are going to be able to kind of play the game, and also, getting you the ability to have a lot of new tricks to be able to have up your sleeve?
Yeah, so the more powerful the hardware, the more beautiful we can make the game. And so definitely Ori and the Will of the Wisps will play best on Xbox One X. We're hoping to be able to achieve 60 frames of animation per second. We're hoping to deliver it in 4K, true 4K with HDR. And so a lot of what you're seeing here at the show hopefully is proof that we're well on our way to delivering that. So you can expect Ori and the Will of the Wisps to be as and even more beautiful than the original game, thanks to the extra power that we get with Xbox One X.
Nice. Give a shout out to Aaron Greenberg, most powerful console on the planet.
That's right.
When is it going to drop?
Yeah, so we also debuted at the show the trailer. You were mentioning the trailer. And so that's a great trailer to look at. It exposes some new things in there that we're not showing in the demo, so you put the two together and there's a lot of new information to dissect.
Gotcha.
But one of the things that we dropped was that it'll be available in 2019.
That's perfect. Lots of good stuff to have in 2019, and this is going to be one of the games you're definitely going to want to get. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. Thank you so much, everybody at home. We'll see you in a little bit. Peace.
Thank you.